Ladies and gentlemen, life in its vast and sometimes unpredictable form places many challenges before us, and often those challenges test us in ways we cannot anticipate. But some individuals, particularly women, face adversity not with a sense of despair, but with an undeniable strength. They make a conscious choice to rise above, to not just survive, but to thrive. Today, we speak about 3 signs that indicate a woman has chosen to become strong. In every journey of personal strength, there is a decision made not by chance, but through deliberate action, self-awareness, and immense courage. It's the ability to transform struggle into power, pain into wisdom, and fear into confidence. The transformation is not a passive act. It is something that one chooses over and over again, regardless of the weight of the world they may carry. To understand this more, we explore the signs that showcase how a woman consciously steps into her strength, not as a mere response to life's circumstances, but as a personal declaration of resilience and empowerment. When a woman chooses to become strong, one of the first and most obvious signs is that she owns her voice and her story. She doesn't allow the noise around her to define her or silence her. There is something incredibly powerful about a woman who, instead of hiding from her past or pretending to be someone she is not, decides to share her truth. She understands that her experiences, both the painful and the beautiful, shape who she is today. She recognizes the power in being vulnerable, in telling her story, and in letting others see her for exactly who she is, without pretense, without apology. A woman who owns her voice and her story does not allow the judgments or expectations of others to stifle her. She knows that her narrative is hers alone and that it cannot be dictated by external forces. She may have faced challenges that tried to silence her, whether it was societal pressures, the weight of personal trauma, or the burden of stereotypes. But she refuses to let those experiences strip her of her power. Instead, she uses them as stepping stones to build a stronger, more authentic version of herself. She does not seek validation from others to feel worthy. Instead, she finds strength in self-condition. Her voice becomes the tool through which she asserts her autonomy. When she speaks, she does so with conviction, knowing that what she has to say is valuable. It's not about dominating a conversation, but about being unapologetically present in it. She speaks from a place of wisdom, derived not only from her successes, but also from her failures and struggles. She understands that her story is a unique thread in the tapestry of life, and that sharing it can offer comfort, solidarity, and inspiration to others who might be walking a similar path. There is a quiet power in a woman who chooses to speak up, not of anger or frustration, but out of a deep understanding that her voice is worth listening to. She speaks truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the truth is messy. She is not afraid to speak out against injustices, to raise awareness about issues that matter, or to advocate for herself and others. Her words are not just noise, they are deliberate, thought out, and carry weight. She knows the power that lies within a single sentence, a carefully chosen word, and a well-timed silence. Owning her voice also means taking responsibility for her words. She does not throw them carelessly into the world, but uses them as a means to build, to heal, and to connect. Her words have the power to change perceptions, to open hearts, and to spark movements. But it is not just about speaking, it is also about listening. A woman who owns her voice understands the value of listening to herself, to others, and to the world around her. Through this deep listening, she gains insight and wisdom that further strengthen her resolve and purpose. Ultimately, Owning her voice is about reclaiming her narrative. It's about no longer letting others write the script of her life. She is the author of her own story, and through that, she becomes a beacon of strength, not just for herself, but for others who are learning to find their own voices as well. She is proof that no matter the circumstances, a woman can always rise, speak, and be heard. Another powerful sign that a woman has chosen to become strong is her ability to set boundaries and protect her peace. In a world that often demands too much, a strong woman knows the importance of knowing when to say no and equally when to say yes. This is not a selfish act, but rather a courageous one. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no to others. It is about saying yes to herself, to her well-being, and to her mental and emotional health. For many women, the act of establishing boundaries is an evolution, a practice that requires constant growth and self-awarenesses. It's easy to fall into the trap of people-pleasing, of bending to the expectations and demands of others at the expense of one's own needs. But a woman who is committed to her strength understands that to maintain peace and balance, she must take a stand for herself. She sets clear lines, whether in relationships, work, or personal life, about what is acceptable and what is not. These boundaries are not rigid walls, but protective barriers that allow her to honor her own needs and desires. She knows that by protecting her peace, she not only safeguards her emotional well-being, but also allows herself to show up as her best self for others. It is a sign of strength when a woman is able to identify what drains her energy and what nourishes it. She chooses to invest her time and energy in things and people that align with her values and support her growth. In setting boundaries, a strong woman doesn't feel the need to explain or justify herself. She does not owe anyone an explanation for choosing her peace. She knows that her time, energy, and presence are sacred, and she will not allow anyone to take them for granted. If someone cannot respect her boundaries, she is willing to walk away without guilt. The strength it takes to protect her peace often comes from a place of deep self-respect. She recognizes that if she does not care for herself, she cannot effectively care for others. Her ability to protect her peace also means she does not allow drama, negativity, or toxic energy to dominate her life. She does not entertain situations that drain her or engage in conversations that feel unhealthy. A woman who chooses strength understands the value of serenity and the importance of creating space for calmness in her life. She knows that peace is not something that just happens. It's something she actively cultivates and defends. She has learned the power of distance, knowing when to pull away from situations or people that disrupt her inner tranquility. At the same time, she is not afraid to speak up when her peace is threatened. She will communicate her needs clearly and assertively, even if it's uncomfortable. She is not afraid to express that she needs space or time to herself, and she does so without shame. In protecting her peace, she creates an environment where she can be at her best, whether that's as a mother, a partner, a friend, or a professional. Her strength lies in her unwavering commitment to maintaining a sense of calm and clarity, no matter how chaotic the world around her may be. In the end, a woman who sets boundaries and protects her peace is not simply surviving, she is thriving. She is an example of how strength can manifest in the simple yet profound act of choosing yourself. By doing so, she makes room for the things that truly matter and allows herself to grow and evolve in ways that are authentic and empowering. The final sign that a woman has chosen to become strong is her commitment to growth and reinvention. Life is a journey, and along that journey, there will be moments of stagnation, moments where it feels easier to settle for the status quo. But a woman who is dedicated to strength understands that growth is a continual process. She does not allow herself to remain stuck in the past, in old patterns, or in outdated versions of herself. She embraces the idea that she is always evolving, always learning, and always capable of becoming something new. A woman who embraces growth is not afraid to change, even if it means stepping into the unknown. She knows that reinvention is not a sign of weakness or indecision, but rather a sign of courage. It takes great strength to look at oneself honestly, to assess where one is, and to acknowledge the need for change. This could be a change in mindset, in lifestyle, in relationships, or even in career. She understands that the decision to grow is a conscious choice that she makes, regardless of how difficult the process may be. Growth is not always linear. There are setbacks, there are challenges, and there are times when progress feels slow. But a woman who is committed to reinvention does not let those obstacles define her. Instead, she uses them as opportunities to build resilience. She knows that every failure, every mistake, and every setback is a lesson, integral part of her growth. Her strength is rooted in her ability to rise again, to continue moving forward, and to embrace the lessons that come with the journey. Reinvention can also mean letting go of old identities, of shedding the parts of herself that no longer serve her. This can be a difficult process, as it requires confronting the discomfort of change and the fear of leaving behind familiar territory. But a strong woman is willing to face this discomfort because she understands that personal growth requires transformation. She is not afraid to let go of the old in order to make space for the new. She knows that reinvention is not about rejecting who she was, but about honoring the woman she is becoming. One of the most empowering aspects of embracing growth is the freedom it brings. A woman who embraces change understands that she is not confined by her past. She is not limited by previous mistakes or by the expectations of others. She is free to pursue new passions, explore new interests, and redefine what success and happiness mean to her. The strength to reinvent oneself is an act of liberation, a declaration that she is in charge of her own destiny. At the core of embracing growth and reinvention is self-compassion. A strong woman knows that growth is not about perfection, it is about progress. She is kind to herself when she stumbles, and she celebrates every small victory along the way. Her strength lies in her ability to trust the process, to believe that she is capable of evolving into the woman she dreams of becoming. Reinvention is not about erasing her past, but about building upon it, creating a future that is a reflection of her truest self. By choosing growth and reinvention, a woman becomes a living testament to the power of transformation. She shows that strength is not just about surviving life's hardships, it's about using those hardships as a foundation for becoming something greater, something stronger, and something more authentic. In the end, the choice to become strong is not a single moment, but a lifelong process. It is not something that is granted or bestowed upon a woman. It is something she claims for herself, whether through owning her voice and story, setting boundaries to protect her peace, or embracing the ever-evolving journey of growth and reinvention. A woman who chooses strength demonstrates the power of resilience, courage, and self-determination. She teaches us that strength is not about perfection or invulnerability, but about the willingness to keep moving forward, to keep evolving and to never stop believing in the power within. Ladies and gentlemen, may we all find the courage to choose strength, to stand tall in our own power, and to embrace the beauty of our own transformation.